This will be the last video of this series, and yes, this game costs money. Unless you pirate. Now, I did say I had a budget of $0, but come on, this game was $5 when I got it, and it wasn't even with my own money, making this a literal steal. I would also like to point out that I will be using debug mode. I know, a cheap way to win, but I earned this shit, so I'll be damned if I'm not able to use it. Although I kinda did abuse it for the bosses, so a no damage run will be presented during the credits. And now, the rules. Arguably the easiest level in the game, but not even that stops natural selection. Unlike previous incarnations, you need to traverse near the depths of hell to find the end of the tunnel, but we soon go back to our heavenly roots and we have a simple boss to ease us into the challenge. I had hoped that this level was possible. Everything was going smoothly. Too smoothly. I should have known that a loop would prevent my fast. Act 2 had a record amount of loops as well as record amounts of uniqueness with the gimmicks and boss. Puyo Pop was fire, and I even got a combo going. The paparazzi mosquitoes swarmed the studio, but thankfully they weren't as big of a problem as I anticipated them to be. The boss forces you to collect rings, so I decided to end it right here. To no one's surprise, the paparazzi were here, but thankfully I mean nobody, so I was able to flow through. The weather was very chaotic, but that's what happens when you destroy the moon. Flying Battery is one of the longer levels with multiple hassles, one of them being this tunnel in the beginning. I wanted to fly up here to be careful, but it just pushes you back for some reason. Now, it might be possible to avoid these rings, but I'm gonna be honest, I ain't doing all that. I had the same attitude of the boss. Again, we use debug mode instantly, and would you be surprised to know that this level is mostly debug mode? The boss was fun though, so that's a plus. Deceptive tactics were utilized as well as crimes against humanity, or animal abuse in this case. Knowledge in the ninja arts is crucial to survive this unforgiving tundra, and with my unconventional immortality, I slay the last Ronin. Honestly, I hate Act 1, probably due to the fact that Act 2 overshadows it so much, making it feel like an inferior version, which it is, in turn sucking all the fun out of this act. Now finally, an actually enjoyable stage. I would even go as far as calling this a saving grace. I'm glad Sonic doesn't turn into an overlord here, making this fight very farmable. An astounding level all around. Too bad it's short and followed by... Surprisingly, water wasn't an issue. If I were to consider anything to be an issue, it would be these flies, but they were sparse. The background and these spinning rods were cool. The only challenge were the whirlpools. The seagulls overwhelmed me with their sheer volume, so I decided to double it and give it to the next person, which was future me, so sadly, it is time to do this level. Or not, since it's impossible. The Larry D swarming slowly, with there being up to 10 of them if I counted correctly, and they don't disappear until the train, but that's short-lived. So as compensation, I will play Act 1 and Knuckles, but to be honest, there's not much to say about this level except for interesting game design, such as this tunnel leading you to immobility and these invisible force fields. The seagulls are back, but they're not as ruthless. I'm glad you can mostly fly around here, and the piñatas were fun to use. I think Ooze is one of the few levels I could beat legitimately. The seahorses didn't give me as much trouble as last time, and since Act 1 was so easy, I decided to play with the smoke fully manifesting, and wouldn't you know, it was light work. The only reaction being my lung scarring due to numino ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Definitely one of the most beautiful levels in terms of visuals and music. Close calls are the norm, just like vapes. I guess they really want kids back in the mines. The level completely changes, making everything absolutely stunning. It's unfortunate that good things don't last, as well as pebbles being able to kill you. I play this level often, so it's no surprise that it went by quickly. Unfortunately, it is inevitable to devour the onion rings for both acts. Luckily, we get the easiest boss in the game. I accidentally went average size for this fight, so I thought something interesting was gonna happen. but nothing did, so I'm a bit disappointed, and I'm sure Eggman is too. My favorite level out of the 2D series. I have plenty of experience, but it did take me a while to adjust to the slower gameplay. This might be possible, but I don't want to find out. Precision is utilized multiple times. Now the final level is very easy, mostly because of the reasons stated previously. Now I wish I could say the same for the boss. Good thing I could bypass the Ruby's power. And by the way, shout out to these wasps. Look, I know I cheaped out on the bosses, but there have been countless no damage runs, so it was pointless to grind my patience. I also do apologize for using debug mode. I just wanted this series to come full circle. And as you may have noticed, I haven't played Sonic 3 yet. Honestly, I'll save that game for the future remakes, so this concludes the series. Enjoy the credits.